Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Today what we're going to be looking at is how to get to the preview section of the betas. So I right click on Cosmoteer, go to properties, come over here to betas. Under beta we're going to come over here and type in preview, just like this, check the code. Now that you've opted into it, you come over here and you select the preview opt-in for upcoming changes and all this other things. Just know that this is basically a beta, so anything can change. It's then going to start downloading and updating your actual Cosmoteer client with all the beta and preview information and data. Once you're in a selected version and it says preview, you can now hit play and we will get into the actual game. Here we go. The game is going to go ahead and start up and it's going to load in, and now we can actually look at all the actual cool content that was now created within not created in Cosmoteer, but it's going to come into the official game eventually. But please note that anything you see in here, anything you actually see, such as the overclocking and everything else, it could change. It's not officially in the game just yet, but it may eventually come, or some things could change in the process. So anything we showcase here on this particular video, please be aware that it may not be definitive and it may change. So please take that to heart. Okay, now that the game is finally has loaded, let's come over here into ship library. We'll actually pull up the ships. I'm actually going to see if I can pull up my Discord right here. And the first ship I'm going to look at right here is a ship that's made by Posip that he just sent to me recently. Now this is a 50 crew ship. You can see there's a whole bunch more things that are different in the actual game. You can see that there are these thermal resource lances, thermal resonance lance, which you can put on top of it. There's also all these little pipes and different heat sinks on it. This is a 50 crew overclocked. You can see the boosters and thrusters totally do some interesting things. It's a pretty interesting overclocked ship. So let's go ahead and let's actually put it in the battle helper and take a look to see what it is. Let's come over here, open up 2025. Let's add a new folder. We're going to call this one preview stuff because I don't want to mix it up with any of my other stuff until it actually becomes part of the game. Let's pull up preview. Inside preview, let's pull in the other preview right here, and now let's go ahead and take a look at this ship. So you can see there's a lot of things overclocked. Even the mining lasers on the inside are overclocked in the sense where they have these heat pipes to them. So it's actually, the game is going to change so much. I don't even know what to say. This is the first time I'm actually even looking at this and pulling it up. I've seen all the different possible ships that are coming in, and I'm so glad they put the speed back up to normal, because before it was only at 50% speed. But this is the first time I'm actually really looking at them. I looked at it before, I opened it once, I took a look at one ship, and then I closed the game and uninstalled preview because the game speed was so slow. But now that the game speed is back up to snuff, you can see that the shields have a different color to them when they're overclocked. You can see the mining lasers are much more powerful when they have overclocking to them. In fact, I am so interested to see how this works. And we're going to pull off this one, we're going to pull in a different 50 crew mining laser ship, and we're just going to see how it handles this, because I am pretty sure that that's a 34 crew. Sorry, let's get a 50 crew ship in here. 50 crew right here. 50 crew mining laser ship versus an overclocked mining laser ship. I'm pretty sure this overclocked mining laser ship is gonna do some pretty devastating damage to this other ship just by looking at it. This is, I don't know, how much more damage does overclocking do for mining laser? And this mining laser here is running out of power. Does it even, I mean, it wiped off both the, do you see these smaller shields? They're lasting so much longer because of overclocking. That is interesting. Oh yeah, it totally completely wiped that other ship out. This is pretty interesting. Now I'm actually interested to see how this does versus something bigger. Let's go bigger, let's go stronger, let's go versus 108 crew with much more mining lasers on it versus an overclocked mining laser ship Which, honestly, this thing is just pure amazing and jaw-struck beautiful. He has versions that are painted too, but different ones with the thermals up top. But mining lasers overclocked are pretty devastatingly strong. Actually, just looking at the damage it's doing to this other ship. It really is. He has overclock point defenses too. Just wow. Wow. That is very, very powerful. It just took that other ship out. Didn't even sustain as much damage as I was thinking it was gonna take. That is very strong. That is very, very, very strong. Alright, what about... Let's see how it handles deck cannons. This is a very... And I don't even know what everything does yet. There's thermal batteries, and then there's these there's radiators to reduce the heat. And the point defenses. Overclocking of these smaller shields are pretty amazing, is what I'm gonna say. Wow, this thing's just cutting this other ship up like butter. I know I'm looking at the damage here, but just look at this. It already just... It's literally just cutting through this thing so fast. Honestly, if you just went right down the middle, the other ship would have been gone already. And look, this still has a large shield, and then two of the smaller ones. Overclocking a smaller shield seems like it's very, very powerful. And then this is taking fire damage here. This ship already I'm gonna consider is gone. Just look at that. The mining lasers are doing huge amount of damage. This is like, wow. Okay, thrusters, these small ones for maneuverability, for speed, and especially since they're overclocked. I guess that's what they call overclock. Heating pipes? I don't know what you would call it, but just wow. Like, how much damage is this thing? Just 145,000 in repairs? Now I'm very interested to see if we were to take this and take this preview and put in two of these guys and then put in over here and come into built-in ships and come over to Cabal and combat and pull in the Polaris. Just two, I think even just one of them can do a lot of damage. Two is definitely gonna beat it, I feel. But one, look at the thrusters on this. That thing, and it moves fast. Just wow. And then the point defenses, look at that. Thermal battery. Okay, so thermal battery automatically regenerates. I don't even know what a thermal battery does. Probably put a whole bunch of thermal batteries on. This is gonna open up all nother builds and everything, change the game completely. Yeah, two of these guys just annihilated this ship, no problem. What does one do? Okay, so he has two thermal batteries. Can you connect another thermal battery to this too? These things are both sucking heat. I'm gonna have to play with that more and figure out how this all works, but so it looks like these things suck up heat and then provide energy to the thermal battery. Safe it contains large amounts of thermal energy, providing additional heat storage. Okay. And then these shoots down enemy missiles and projectiles using superheated plasma rounds. Wait, how are they getting resupplied? Are these already considered overclocked? Wait. Do you need to add a heat pipe too? You do. You need to add a heat pipe to it to actually... Does that way? How does this all work? Oh, the ferry driver only has a one-way in-out. Okay, and then this takes to there to this. What? How does this work? Do they automatically regenerate? They do, they're getting energy back. I don't know how it all works. I don't know how it all works, but as you can see, there's a lot more to come. I'm very interested. Let's see how this all goes.